I always thought like apple pie in America, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm right, I win.
Yep.
No. If you have money, you're likely more to win. So when it came to lending, I keep great relationships. Form the relationship, let them know you're relational being, that you're not looking for one loan, you're looking for a long-term history.
Welcome to the Your Peak Life podcast. Let's conquer the summit of life and reach the apex of our potential.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode here of Your Peak Life podcast. DJ Julian Rivera here, Edgar the Sphere Munoz, June, a.k.a. Edwin Rodriguez, and we have another special guest for you. But before we tell you who it is, make sure you subscribe. YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Your Peak Life podcast. Now on to the special guest, the one and only, he's going to hate that I say this, the mayor of Granby Street, a.k.a. my man, Mr. Bobby Wright, is in the house. How you doing, Bobby?
Right on, brother. Thank you. And I know why he said mayor because when I walked in, I told him that sometimes people call me the mayor, and I don't like that.
Okay.
So how to break the ice, right? Call him it. Yeah, man. Thank you.
I did it on purpose. We like to talk and have fun. Right?
That's a Julian.
That is a me.
Tell him something that you
Julian?
feel, you're a little insecure about. That's your new name.
That's a Latino thing.
That is a Latino thing.
That's
But
true.
he's not Latino.
I mean, I'm no sabo, but, I am Latino still.
Yeah.
So Latino is not a language. I said this yesterday, right? Latino is a culture. It's a way of life.
Correct.
Right. So
the
whether you
Chicano,
speak Spanish
Latino.
or not,
Yeah.
I don't think that's what designates someone.
Agreed.
Latino.
I mean, that's 1,000% correct. And now, but Bobby, look, you're here. You're in the podcast studio. You addressed our agents a few minutes ago, and we appreciate you coming in here. Give us a short but direct version of who is Bobby Wright. How I met Bobby is that I DJ'd at his venue a very long time ago, Granby Theater. I knew of him before that because you were always a trailblazer in just that Granby Street area, the Norfolk area, on just acquiring assets, a.k.a. saving Granby Street from being something new that they were probably at the time looking of making it. In this scenario, it's still the old school Granby Street in the way that it is with a new school flair, and you were the trailblazer behind that. Just give us a kind of a small background on how you decided to start purchasing so much of Granby Street and helping cultivate to what it is today.
Old school with new flair. I like that. That might be my new tag.
Take it.
Anyway, I was just addressing that staff you have there, those agents, and LJ giving he's feeding them.
Right.
It was fantastic. It really takes me back to things we've done on Granby with our team, and I'm so inspired by it and appreciate the opportunity to come here, and just really more grateful to meet the people in your world. Because if there's something that I love most, and that is every engagement is an opportunity to meet a new friend. So to answer your question, what drives me is people. And we talked about it in there. It's all about people. Buildings are buildings, and they look good, but they're nothing without people. What's a nightclub without people? So Granby Theater, that's my baby, my legacy, right?
Yep.
That's how we met. You're a DJ, right? But if you look at the beauty and the money, God, we spent way too much money there. Way too much money.
It.
If you haven't seen Granby Theater, go in. You'll see what I mean. Anyway, if you go in there, but I've been in there on nights when we only had 100 people, off night.
That's a big venue to have 100 people.
And, the energy's not there, right? Did you talk about the club? Probably not. It's about people. But when you went in there and the girls looked great because they knew they were going to Granby Theater, they had to dress up. The dudes went to Nordstrom. Remember we used to have a Nordstrom?
I do.
We used to go there and buy a certain shirt. I mean, we always did. It might be because I was guilting them. I was like, dude, you need to go buy that shirt, right? Because you have to create your own economy. So we were about creating our own economy in Granby because there was no economy. There was no culture. Getting to Latino, there was nothing, man. My mom's Italian, so we're very much like Latino. Very much. And this side note, this is my theory, only my opinion, but because you brought it up, today divide and conquer is a real thing, right? So how can we divide up people and put them in boxes? All right, so I'm not shaming the word Latino or any of that, or there's some words we use in the Italian culture. Not, because that's about being who you are, and you should be proud of who you are. And I don't think the United States should be like homogenous. We're an experiment of bringing people together. But if you go to New York, what do you celebrate? You go to a little China, you go to a little Italy, you go to wherever, right? You don't go to, let's go to the American Bar and Grill.
Right.
What is that?
That's true.
No, we celebrate the different cultures. So if you see people like trying to divide and conquer us and put us in boxes, I think there's a purpose behind it. Won't get into that. But on the Latin culture, I think about it because I have a lot of Latin friends. And I always think of my Italian culture as being very Latino in a lot of ways, the passion. Mm-hmm. So I have a girl on my team from Colombia. Colombia. L-O-M-B-I-A, not you,
Colombia.
right? Thank you. I was like, girl, you look like my cousin, right?
Yeah.
If the truth is, she said, well, we really are from Spain and Italy.
Yeah.
I was like, well, isn't it interesting? So you are Spanish maybe or Italian or whatever you are, and you came over on a boat, and now you're in Colombia. And now all of a sudden you're put in a box as you're something different. No, you're just, most of us, all of us originated from that area. The Middle East, part of Asia, all of us at one time, our DNA comes from there. We're people. We're human beings. I love people. I love the Latin culture. I love Italian food. I love certain music. I love all kinds of genres of music. I especially love what Julian would spend, right? But when you get it down, I'm not dividing you for it. I'm celebrating you for it.
Right.
But what I really celebrate is you are alive. You're a human being with free will. Animals don't have free will. We do.
Yep.
We have passion in the heart, right? We have certain DNA that might come from our parents or it's God-given that drives us towards excellence and to do what is on our heart. And sometimes we don't know why it's there, but it's because there's a plan for us, right? I believe there's a plan for everybody on this planet. And it's interesting when you're doing your plan, if you know what I mean by that, like you're in your groove, you're in your flow. We use these terms. Don't you feel good?
Yeah.
Right? Don't you?
Damn
You
right.
know when you're a duck out of water, right?
Yeah, and everything gravitates. to
Yeah,
it. It does.
exactly. Like success comes easy. You're not fighting for money. The bank's going, hey, I love what you do. Can I invest in you? Isn't that
In
a
you.
much better story?
Keyword you.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah. Versus you going to a lender and go, I want to share my story with you.
Yep.
And I hope you like what I do. And then they give you a sheet and you start checking
business
boxes. And as you check boxes, you realize you're a number. And that doesn't feel good to anybody's heart.
Very transactional.
Yeah.
At that point. And you're saying like your heart, your people person, that was really let's just call it what it is, the heart and soul behind pushing that vision to come to life, because your passion and your vision has really gotten you where you're at, because you can't do it by yourself. We are a firm believer that we're all Superman, but we can't do it without the team around him, right? Because he even has kryptonite to bring him down. So what do? You bring the team with you. You bring the Avengers with you. You bring the Justice League with you, right? Exactly. You bring everybody with you in a way, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
We've all experienced that. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I make friends in business. I don't bring friends in business. And I only say that because I want to respect both sides of the coin. And now when you're in that world and you've developed what you've developed in the vision of just, excuse my language, eating shit for a long time to get to that point that, all right, now I'm here, but I still want to fucking go.
Yeah.
Right? So now you're here. You've been here for a while, right? I'm gonna put a feather in your cap, but you've never been complacent. What is the drive to continue to want to go instead of just, I'm good. Like I'm here, I'm well, but I want to keep going. What keeps you going?
I think the drive again is people. Because every time I just met your team today and I want to come back and hang out with you guys. So I am driven to learn more about Iron Valley, right? Not because you do real estate. I do real estate. Real estate's it's property.
It's real estate.
But when I meet you and I hang out and I see these people, I saw them engage with LJ. And I complimented your team because it's so unusual for people to literally look you in the eye still and say, I hear you. I appreciate you. I want what you're sharing for me, and it's a value. So when I meet a new person, I'm always looking for a new friend. My next meeting with the lender and all that stuff, only one person I know, the others I don't. I'm a little nervous and I'm excited. The nerves are natural, right? I'm like, well, will I say the right thing?
Yeah.
I got to zip it. I don't want to say too much. You're kind of painting that picture. But then the other part is like, who am I going to meet? Then when I peel that onion, right? So bankers, how I get to meet them. Then I find out they love pickleball. The next thing I know, man, the CEO of Dominion Enterprises, I kind of mentioned that out there. I think I did. that wrote the letter about Urban Outfitters,
Yep.
which helped us get Urban Outfitters. You know, the CEO has a daughter going to New York. That's good stuff if you are on the board of Urban Outfitters, right? So that's how we played that. But it wasn't a lie. It was the truth. He heard about it. He said, how can I help?
Yep.
So he ended up coming on core class. Imagine that. Next thing you know, we're in an office sometimes sharing life. That's when it gets real, right? Because a lot of this is a facade. You got to fake it till you make it, all that kind of stuff. We all do it. We all put that facade on. I'm Mr. Iron Valley today. But the truth is we're people. And this is a hurting world, and it's always been hurting. And as an empath, and I feel like a lot of you guys are empaths, or at least sympathetic, because I feel some really good energy. I don't feel like a wall. I feel like a connection. Like your energy radiates and people feel it and then they respond. It's contagious, right? That's a compliment, by the way, if you're not taking that. For those of you out there in the land listening, that's a compliment, right? This energy is real. Your heart radiates 25 feet out. That's real. The mind doesn't, only 10.
Yeah.
The heart. So when you walk in a room, you go, my guts, I could cut the room, the tension with a knife. You've heard people say that.
Yep.
It's because that you are truly feeling the energy. So when I go and I meet a new person, that's rewind the tape. I'm like, gosh, I like you. How can I help you? Oh, you like real estate too? Let's talk.
Facts.
Can I plug them in? Are they not from here? Would they want to be an extension of me?
Right.
Like, right? At first, selfishly, I'm thinking, I like you.
Yeah.
How can I plug you in? You guys have done an amazing job of plugging people in. How many people you got?
Well, we have, what's the exact number, Edwin, right now?
367.
Oh my God, 367.
Mm-hmm. So the other
Crazy
thing,
good.
The other thing is too is like you're talking about energy is contagious. I say that all the time, and Edwin is typically the main trainer every Friday. He trains on our peak performance coaching platform and everything. LJ is a trainer as well. Like if I had to put the number 1, 2, and 3 and not in any particular order, but Edwin, LJ, and Mike are the 3 main guys that can train. I can do it, but I'm a strong number 2. Edgar can do it. I'm a strong number 2. So we tag ourselves in when we need to.
Right.
But you're talking about energy. This effing guy right here, we call him like the little small pit bull from Miami, but he's from Virginia Beach, right?
Yeah,
he
he
doesn't sing
definitely
like
gets
that.
I love
proud
Pitbull
for
anyway.
training.
He came to
Right.
Grammy Theater
100%.
once.
But it helps because he's a retired senior chief from the Navy. He's trained and led for a long time. So when we're talking about contagious energy, when I see Edwin up there, aka his nickname's June, when he's up there, he just controls that crowd. I feel he controls the crowd how I can control the crowd when I'm DJing. That's what I feel when I see and I watch him train.
nice.
But
Appreciate
it's because it's all true.
What a compliment.
But when I see that and I do that, but then you lead by that example, so that empowers me. Like, you know what? I can do that shit too, because you see it in me. You tell me that, but I'm like, yo, you slay it, bro. And it's not like I'm trying to follow you. It's not a competition. We were talking about that earlier. It's complementary to see, yo, I see this in you. This is how I do it. You got your vibe. Let's just get the same message across because it's going to resonate in some way, shape, or form. Like when you were up there talking, like it's more of a thing as how can you. There's a thing I've been saying a lot lately is relatability is a superpower. If you can relate with somebody, you are going to check every box that you possibly could within the first 5, 10, 15 minutes because then they're going to know, like, and trust you a lot faster.
So good. Yep.
That's just that's the truth. At least that's what has worked for me. Like, for example, I was joking when you walked in here. You're ready for an amazing financial meeting with individuals you haven't met. You're reading the room. You understand where you're about to go. Typically, I'm like this every time, no matter where I'm going to climb. But if I go to a certain house or I haven't met somebody, yes, I'm going to address the part that I feel by reading the room. But you don't have to always be in that part. You don't have to have the facade up all the time. You can make it work for you. Yeah. You just have to be a little seasoned and open mind to do that. But like June, how are you making this work for you, that transition? You've transitioned from the military to here, senior chief to leader of Iron Valley Real Estate, which is the fastest growing brokerage in Hampton Roads since COVID hit. But now you're doing this in a way that it's you. You're not faking it in any other way. You're not having to put a white hat on and a white jacket. No shade. I'm just saying that you're doing it the way that you're doing it. How do you consistently do that every day, in and out?
Honestly, like listening to Bobby, like it made the most sense. Like it really hit me. It's for the people.
Yeah.
Like I never really thought about it like that, as crazy as it sounds. But if you know me, everybody around me, I try to help them out.
Yeah.
I've helped every single agent around me.
Facts.
So many agents are top producers. So many are like living in incredible lives. And I think that's really what it is. So when Bobby was up there speaking, I had like, he had my attention because I felt like he cared about what he was telling us. Right. I felt it. And I think and I kind of felt like, hey, when I'm up there, I imagine that's how people feel.
I agree.
Because he cares.
Correct.
And I think it's just that simple. I don't think I have like this magic superpower. I just think that I care and I try to be authentically myself.
Yep.
And I might be in sneakers today and tomorrow I might be in a 3-piece.
That's also true.
That's because that's who I am.
Yep.
And I care. Like at the end of the day, like I'm proud. I care. I care where our company goes. I understand that we are the people who are going to place us in the right or wrong path.
Right.
People are following us. So if people are following us, then we have to put our best foot forward. If people are following us, they want to see Edwin smiling. They want to see Edwin light up the room. They want that energy. That's why people come here. When people are going to an event to see Julian, when I was in a top producer panel the other day, or even when I watch you do the introduction, you're the person for it. You're the person for it. You're the right person for it, right? And it makes me want to be there. So putting the right people in place, right, to capitalize and to benefit the company at the highest level. And like anything, social media, anytime there's an MC, a master of ceremonies, you're going to do the best job because you're the person for it, right? Anytime I need any type of support, if I need something, anything, if I have a flat tire, the first person I'm going to call is Edgar. Like, he's my support. If I need something, if I'm like thinking, yo, am I tripping? It's probably going to be Edgar because he doesn't have that like sugar coat.
Yeah.
He's going to tell me, yo, nah, bro, you're tripping. Stop being a little bitch, right? Or he'll be like, I can understand. Maybe think about it like this.
Yeah.
Because he also is giving me great advice. When I want someone to like really push me over the top to motivate me to like, I'm gonna go to Mike. If I want a visionary, I'm gonna go to Eric.
Yep.
If I want systems, I'm gonna go to LJ.
Yep.
Like we're all have our own strengths, and I think that we have done a good job putting people in the place where they will shine.
Right.
And I think that's kind of like the success. We don't have very many secrets. We want everyone around us to succeed. And I think that's ultimately why we're here. You spoke earlier, you mentioned something that in real estate, there's not many places or environments that you go that you get fed. Initially, people think fed as leads. I think fed as information, putting myself in a position to win, right? Sharing knowledge.
I didn't mean leads. You were right.
Correct.
Correct.
It's interesting that that could have been thought of by someone, but I think because that this team is led by such great individuals as you three guys and others, that they knew what I meant when I said fed, because we were there listening to LJ and he was feeding, right? And so it wasn't leads. We weren't getting any leads. But I didn't know you were Navy. In June, I like that. I'm going to call you June because I feel like we're brothers. We have the same haircut. But anyway, Julian gave you the best compliment. And the reason he gave you the best compliment in my world is because I love the Granby Theater. I have so many fond memories of so many people we met and all the Navy SEALs that we coddled after they came off the battlefield. Like we were literally the hospital and the party for the Navy SEALs. And you could see it in their eyes when they came back. We hadn't seen them in a year. You knew they had seen something they can't tell you, and they needed love. If anything the Granby Theater did, we loved on military like no other club because it came from the top. Me. I'm not military, but I love military, and I love the military service that we have here. So, and you guys have that background. But when you said that June read the crowd, I was going to give that compliment to you saying, if he says you're leading like he does as a DJ, you must read the crowd. And then you said it and like, daggone, I took my punchline. But I wanted to repeat it because a good DJ is that. Correct. I've been in the club where I've spent a lot of money on DJs. They're supposedly good, whatever, a lot of money. If you're in a packed club, you can play anything. But if you're in a club that's not packed and you don't read it, it's going to be clear. That's the difference between a great DJ and a good DJ is can they read the room? Like they have a mix. Like I had a mix in my mind that I was going to say when I got up there. Nope.
Gone.
This was not the crowd for that. right? And what you guys don't know is that someone very close to our family, which is our business, passed away today. And I just spent an hour and a half on the phone with his mother. He's only 40 years old.
Oh, no.
And I've been talking with him over the last few years through his illness, trying to encourage him, not thinking he was going to pass.
Right.
40-year baby, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And today she found my number in his phone and saw a text, said, I can see you had great conversations with my son. I want to thank you. So I came in with like really heavy heart, not knowing where I was going to go with this. And the contagious energy in that room lifted me out of that. Not that I'm a negative guy, because I know where he is. He went to heaven. So
It's a
that's
moment.
good. It's a good thing.
Absolutely.
But we still mourn, right?
Of course.
This is Jesus wept. It's cool to cry. But anyway, another thing you guys said, this interview is really easy for me, by the way, because I feel like in so many ways that your team is so much like the team I like to put together. My team has morphed over time,
Yeah.
right? Through '08, which, and then COVID was, oh my God, MMA on us. COVID was about, literally, grace of God, I'm here. that I
Yeah,
have
for the
buildings and
commercial
all that
side,
stuff.
right?
Oh, it was
Residential was booming. but
horrific. Not just that.
I actually had my first commercial deal during COVID,
Did you?
but it was a
Good for
vacant
you, brother.
building, but it was terrible because what are you gonna do with this thing,
Yeah.
right? Nobody wanted to get commercial buildings at that time.
If you had the money to just sit and wait, you would have won. Or like anybody would have won in that
Anybody
scenario.
would've won.
Right.
You know, it's the saddest part, and it's just about the system. And I feel like in a podcast, this is where we talk about things like
Yep.
this. Is in business, especially young business people. Like I came in business full of passion and vision and all that stuff, wet behind the ears, as they say. I was called that, and I was like, "What's that mean?" Now I know. Green, wet behind the ears.
Yeah.
Naive. I'm still a little naive. Anyway, I
Naivety.
prefer that. I take people for
Yeah.
what they tell me until they screw me. So
Yeah.
if you say you love me until you don't. So that's probably being naive in this world. But anyway, business is not easy, because business isn't because you do the right thing. There is a game to play, and the lender game is very difficult, right? The insurance game is ridiculous. My insurance went up 30%,
Dude.
during COVID. 30%. Now think of this. With leases, they sign 5-10 years lease with me, and they might get a little bump every year, but I'm pretty gracious with my tenants. I don't do open end because I put myself in their shoes because I am a tenant. You know, as the owner of Grammy Theater, I'm also a tenant.
Yeah.
I run it. So I've got to do the pro formas, and we do ordering, and I got to go to the bank and get the money for the business aside from the landlord. So I can wear those hats. I understand both sides. But with that said, the landlord has almost like a fixed budget when it comes in the money coming in. So when the insurance hits you with a 30% increase, all that does is destroy your bottom line.
Yeah.
Because I can't go to my tenant. I don't do the big pass-through thing. I don't like it. Maybe you would say, some people, you out there and listening to this, that, well, that's just not good business. But I've heard from tenants, they hate when the landlord does a huge pass-through. Like they're doing their big thing, they're fixing the tacos, they're fixing the pizza, they're doing whatever, and they've got their groove going on, and they're just making it. And they're just making now enough money to invest in some new equipment, and they're feeling good. And the landlord goes, "We're paving the parking lot, special assessment."
Right.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I have no say in this.
Yeah.
We're fine with the parking lot the way it is, right? So I like to create almost like a fixed lease for my tenants. But then on the landlord, I'm vulnerable. Now, insurance has never been that big of a vulnerability as it was this time. Banking was the same way. We always paid our mortgage payments, always. I don't know how we did it, honestly, because most of our tenants closed their doors for a long, long time.
Right.
But we did. But guess who didn't quit billing me? City of Norfolk.
Of course not.
Taxes.
Oh, hell no.
And guess what? Taxes went up during COVID.
Property.
How did my
taxes.
values go up?
Yeah.
Well, I did go back, and they did listen to me for the first time, and they helped lower some of them.
Yeah.
So I do want to give mad props to my city, Norfolk. Thank you. Even though I'm a beach resident, the leadership in Norfolk now is the best leadership ever. And I'm not saying that the Brown knows anybody.
That's good to know.
It's absolutely true. Economic development is phenomenal because they're rubbing elbows with the people. The first group I've seen do that. They always were after ADP.
Yeah.
Or Bank of America.
Gotcha.
What does that do for me? Like, I'm in the trenches. Give me some love.
Yep.
Right? Small business.
Yep.
What is the backbone of America? What
Small
built
business.
America?
Small
You,
business.
me. Right?
And Edgar's
We're not
cousins.
Bank of America. What's that?
And,
He's like, Edgar's
and Edgar's cousins. Sorry.
So
Well, mine too.
Oh, I'm Mexican. That's what he means.
Oh, are they?
I got to throw a little joke in every once in a while. I
Yeah,
haven't
no,
done a bald
but
head
I
joke
want to
yet.
touch on some as far as the insurance going up, because a lot
Yeah.
of times they're like on the residential side when we're talking about or I'm talking to somebody, it's like I would rather rent because then I don't want to fix the house, I don't want to be doing the lawn or landscape or whatever the case may be. But I always turn it on. It was like, you think me as a landlord am not going to pass on the repairs I need to make for this property or the increase in taxes? Your rent's going to go up. You're paying for it regardless.
Spot on, man.
Like,
Or how about the
they don't
trend?
understand that.
How about the trend? Hampton Roads is a little resilient,
Yeah.
but the trend around America is rents have gone way up. What has
Yeah.
happened to our rents?
Yeah.
I would suggest to you it's been all opportunity.
Well, that's what I tell them. I was like, sure, you don't have to spend $500 to $700 on that new stove that was broken.
Yeah.
But you're gonna feel it next year when that lease is up.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's gonna get increased. I'm gonna recoup my money.
You're right.
So I understand what you're saying on a commercial level also, because when we're looking at these buildings, it's like, okay, triple net, the build out. What's the percentage? 3%, 4%. How high are we gonna go with this?
Well, you ready for the biggest punch to the gut? And this is one, it kind of goes back to something I was talking about in the room about whoever's got the most money wins the legal battle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a rude awakening that I never dreamt in my life. I always thought like apple pie in America, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm right, I win.
Yep.
Yep.
No. If you have money, you're likely more to win.
You get to it.
So when it came to lending, I keep great relationships. And that's really important. Anybody listening, probably the number one thing I would suggest, form the relationship, let them know you're a relational being,
Yeah.
that you're not looking for one loan, you're looking for a long-term history. Set the tone up front for many more deals, right? No matter what it is, insurance, whatever. And if you look at my business, my insurance guy, we built our businesses together. He was right where I was 20 some years ago, and we built together. And it's a beautiful thing. So now when I call him, it's not like, hey, Morgan Marrow. It's like, Stuart, what's up? Get off the daggone golf course. You're always golfing. Help your bro, right? So we can talk like that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, had a fire. What do you mean? Oh, had a fire. So, you need to be able to talk real like that.
Yeah.
Because we don't talk with checks and boxes.
That's true.
But in lending, during 2008 and also during COVID, we had this happened twice. And for it to happen so close within, 13, 15 years of each other, it shows you that you can't look at history as a crystal ball. Because this didn't happen much back in history. World War II or War I, that's big. When you have World War, everything, none of that counts. So I always pay in my mortgage payments on time. Really important, on time. I always pay on time. And always communicate. Communicate upfront, proactively. Don't wait until you're late. You call. You got a challenge, you call, you express it. You tell them how grateful you are, and you hope they can help you.
Right.
They will. They're people. They want to help people like you. They build their business on your back, so they want that. But in lending, one thing happened that bankers hate. The average banker would tell you they hate this about their industry because it wasn't their doing. It was the puppet master at the top. They were calling notes, not because you were late, not because your collateral was reduced in value, not because you lost tenants, although maybe some people did, because their balance sheet was upside down.
Yep.
So then, we'll get into the federal side. We're not, but if you get on the federal side, there's some things. And so then they call the note. Like, put yourself in my shoes. I have a lot of notes.
For no reason, though.
For no
For no
reason.
reason.
For no
Yeah.
reason.
And
Yeah.
it's not like, hey, we're going to give you 2 years.
Today.
Almost,
Yeah.
right. And so then my response would be, wow, breathe. Then can you give me some referrals of where I can find a loan? Because in my heart, I know they can't. Because in COVID, no one was lending.
Right.
Who wanted to lend? They didn't know where it was going either. So the goal was to get and hold only the plums of commercial real estate. The ones where if you went bankrupt, they could put it on the court steps and sell it all day long for what is owed, right? So anything that leveraged more than that, they don't want that. And so that happened to me during COVID, and it happened during the Great Depression, which was the Great Recession, they call it. And I learned a big lesson. Do not put your eggs in one lending basket. Because I had one lender prior to 2008. Because this lender was the guy that saw the twinkle in my eye, the vision in my dream, and he loved what he heard and he believed in me. He was the only guy. And that bank has since been closed by the FDIC. He's gone. So that guy gave me all my loans. So being a relationship person, what do you think I did? Can I get a loan? Can I get a loan? I was rewarding him for believing in me.
Yeah.
And isn't that what we should do in life?
Right.
Like, you're good to me. Like, I should pat your back, you pat mine.
Yeah.
But not in lending. Do not do that. If you're listening, that might be your big takeaway here. Get a loan with one bank and another bank, a credit union maybe, whatever. Spread it out. And if you say that to a banker, and if they are truly looking out for your best interest, they will say, smart move.
Okay.
They're not, oh, no, let me do all your loans. It's a smart move. It's a smart move.
So I am a big preacher on everything you just said in my trainings about building relationship with your vendors, right? And it goes further as far as like what we do in residential real estate. You need people to respond to you when you need them.
Man, that's true.
That only comes with relationships. So, I always say, hey, have your main person have a secondary, but build the relationship, right? Don't go to people and ask them for stuff if you're not sending them business, right? Like it's a business etiquette,
Yeah.
right? If LJ's going to Veterans United to get an open house kit, it's because LJ uses Veterans United on a regular basis.
Right.
He's not going to pick up a random lender and say, hey, random lender, would you create some flyers for me?
Right.
Yeah.
That's just not
June, do you know how I
realistic.
helped that relationship? Because remember now I spread it out.
Uh-huh.
So I still want to help them, right? Because that relationship's important. So what I do is when I meet Julian and he needs a loan, I call up that guy and I go, I want you to meet Julian.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've spread the wealth that way.
Introductions.
I leverage my relationships, and they love that because now he's new seed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But on the other hand, I'm like, don't put it all in that one basket.
Yeah.
Nothing against that lender, but that representative may not be there tomorrow.
Right.
And now you're a number. When the relationship's gone,
Yeah.
June, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you call your boy and they go, oh, he moved, because this just happened to me recently.
yeah.
A guy that I've had forever, and he always worked it out for me, and I had a challenge. And I called him and they go, oh, he's in Texas. He didn't tell you? I was like, no. And I called him and said, oh, why didn't you tell me? So I was getting ready to call you, but whatever. His opportunity. It wasn't he forgot me. He probably was going to call me.
Yeah.
But now I'm with someone who does not know me.
Yep.
All they know is I spend X dollars with them, and I'm not the biggest spender for that company, but I've shown longevity. I think there should be some credibility
You would think.
for how I stuck with them. Because, I can spend my money anywhere.
Yeah.
You need to prove to me every day that I spend my money with you for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I want to share something with you, June, just said about relationship that just happened to me this year. Because I'm like you about relationships. Stick to it, stick to it, stick to it. But I do expect a certain return of respect. I call it respect. If you respect what I've done for you and I respect what you've done for me in the way of business, let's say we don't drink beer together. Mm-hmm. So we're respecting each other for you're a great lender and I'm a great borrower of money. And I always pay my bills. And every now and then I refer you over to another person, right? Mm-hmm. So we respect each other. Then all of a sudden you call one day, and this has happened on 2 occasions recently, and I get the same person, but he can't do the same things for me anymore. Like he says the right words. It's still him. You can feel it. But there's no follow-up. And you're like, excuse me, didn't we have this conversation? I'm used to you following up. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. The kids were sick. Okay, no big deal.
They take it for granted.
And then a week later, again, well, people do when they get familiar with each other. And that's a really hard one. And I'm probably guilty of that. But life happens. One thing that's happened in the last 5 years is if I were to ask everyone out there to raise their hand, if something sort of tragic or a big challenge happened in the last 5 years, did it happen to you? I bet every hand would raise in there. Family, physical, business, loss, different kinds of loss, right? When that happens, divorce big time during COVID, people react differently. And all of a sudden, the person that you have the relationship with, he's wounded, she's wounded. at first I wanted to flush them. It's like, yep, time to move on, right? Because we're busy. Gosh, we're so busy. We only come to people when we need them at the time, and they're going to make money, so we expect that service that we always got, right? But this is where my love for people, and I'm a little more sensitive to things these days because A, I'm older, B, I've been through a lot of challenges, and I've had a lot of people help me. And I was telling Julian the other day that through COVID, I had 2 times, actually 3, where I think I was checking out of this world. Like it was close to like pronounced death. Yeah. And you don't know when this is going to happen to you. So if you're listening out there and you're pumping, if you're squatting like I was, and I'm not a big guy, 350, and I was doing it like big time and I was on top of the world, life can change like that. When I got that virus, oh my God. So things like this are happening from the virus, from the economy, from whatever. We've got to give some grace and margin in these relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So these 2 people, I've given a lot more margin, and I'm seeing ever so slowly the fruit of that coming back. It was not a light switch. It wasn't like, you're so kind, thank you. I should have done that for you, right? It really wasn't that. So I don't want to tell you that because then I'd be lying to you. It's been every now and then I have to like ping them on, bro, you owe me a little more respect than what you're doing as a friend. Mm-hmm. Not as a business, leveraging a business, because after 20 years doing business with you, you're my friend.
Right.
Iron Valley, okay, it's a company. You're my friend first. And what do friends do? When you come out of the water of the ocean, you got a booger hanging. Dude, you got snot out of your nose. Have you had people that don't tell you that?
Yeah.
I'm like, why did you not tell me I had crap on my face?
Yep.
That's a friend. I want a friend. So I want to encourage somebody that if you're out there and you're going to life challenges and people are starting to let you down, they've never let you down, give them a little more margin now because of what we've been through as a nation, as a human race.
Oh, thank you. I needed that.
That's good.
Because I'm quick to cut somebody off.
I think we probably all have a little bit of that, right?
For sure, that guy.
Yeah, you are definitely.
You are 1,000% that guy.
Have you heard this one? Slow to hire, quick to fire?
Yes.
Always.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Our president. It's in the Art of a Deal. And I'm the worst. I'm quick to hire, slow to hire, and I'm slow to fire because I love people too much. So I give them too many chances, right? Yeah. So I'm the opposite.
I understand that too. I mean,
on the fire. We just did it. I mean,
it's hard, isn't it?
It's hard.
The fire part, no.
See, for him it's easy.
For him, it's not.
I need you.
But I also did do another startup where I was, and I've told this story before. Long story short is I helped this company open a manufacturing plant, fired a ton of people. I learned a lot of lessons in just that time. So getting into this, sure, everybody's an independent contractor, but when it comes to admins and things like that, or also we just seen a lot of agents. I want to say that I could already see who's really going to commit. Right.
Nice. Yes.
And I don't like to say we have the same 24 hours because we all leverage our 24 hours differently. I have more 24 hours than the most. When I got my transaction coordinator or admins or things like that doing work for me, it's like the 24 hours that I do have, am I going to spend it on you that I really, really know deep down inside you're not going to do what I'm asking for?
So you really fine-tune your intuition. And that does happen over time, doesn't it?
It's like, no. And like certain people I've narrowed down. I was like, okay, I'm going to spend that hour with you every day. Let's get you going. And I see the fruits. And it's like, but if I spend it over here, I'm doing it just to be nice now.
Yeah.
And that's me.
I'm
the opposite of him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I've talked about I need to build a team or something else now, which I do. I have a plan for it for those people now that are going to help those other, I'll say agents. But
I love that you did something with manufacturing, because we produce not much in this country, but it's coming back.
Yeah.
I think that's the big wave in the future.
But here's the thing where it's all technology. Even then, this was 2012. Everything's technology, right? All the machinery, all the weights, everything. It was a 5-man crew doing millions of products. And I'm just sitting in an office by the time everything was built out, putting the parameters in. What are we creating today?
Wow.
Oh, soft chews, this ounces, whatever. Boom, 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 set the parameters. They're out there just testing, making sure all the weights are right.
Yeah.
The other people are making sure the mixes are right, the proper bags and labels are going through, and then 2 people at the end bagging everything up and boxing it and going out the door.
Things have really changed, haven't they?
And I'm sure they've gone way
it's
more.
getting ready to change.
automated.
way more automated, more robots.
Yeah. Elon says by Christmas we're going to have new materials we've never seen that are stronger than steel. I just read this podcast. This AI is creating new materials.
Well, us being in the military, I mean, you know, every car now has a heads-up display. We were looking at that stuff in the 90s.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, the military's level.
But it's new to us.
Ways.
It's new to civilians. It's new to.
All this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Bobby, I got a quick question for you. So, what is you talk about your team a lot?
Yeah.
What is your team like? How many people are a part of your team?
Brokerage
like,
team.
you know, is it teams of you have a team for this, a team for that?
Well, my teams have changed. When I was developing, when I really started on Granby and I was pushing on the commercial development, and that was a heavy lift because what I was attempting to do is put properties under option. I was attempting to do it under option for free. Mm-hmm. So it really had to sell my dream, right? But it worked. There was a lot of immigrants on that block, and everybody's like, oh, they'll never sell. They don't sell. They don't sell. And I guess it shows you that if someone really sees your heart, maybe they will sell. So my first immigrants were from Vietnam, and they were never going to sell. And we sat down, and the guy treated me like his son. And so I was able to put it under contract so then I could work my pro forma and get with the contractor, get with the architect, my quarterback, the architect, and then go to a lender with all that mapped out, showing them how I was going to do it. But it was hard because lenders still then did not believe in Granby because the city had sold us out, that everything was going to be demolished. So that team was big, and it was all in-house. So when I was selling the condos, I think we had the boiler. What's that movie, The Boiler Room?
Boiler Room.
Yeah, we're around. Remember, we kind of look like that, white shirts. We're like, banging on the table. It was fun. It was so. They were all Navy. Almost all of them were Navy. A lot of them were Navy SEALs or search and rescue swimmers. I was the only non-military. I felt like you, June, because I really should have been in the military, and I love that camaraderie. We're in it together to win, and no one gives up, and you got my back. All that I had not seen in private sector, right? Because military teaches you that. Like, I don't know how it's taught, like if they just drive it in or it just happens because you're in the trenches together. It doesn't matter.
It's exactly that.
It's
You're
awesome.
seeing each other in the most vulnerable places, in the showers, just sleeping next to each other.
Yeah, you're all away from family, by yourselves.
You have no crutches.
Figuring it out.
Yeah.
Right?
No dad to whine to.
Yeah, no one else to cry.
And we don't care about your emotions.
Yeah.
The mission's
man up.
priority.
Yeah. So that team was my team, one, right? Then when we started the businesses, the Granby Theater, that ended up being 150 employees at its height. And that's a lot of people that smile in your face and say all the words that you need to hear and then stick a knife in your back and steal from you.
Yeah.
If you're listening and you worked for me, I don't mean everybody, but a lot of people that I thought were my best friends, I found out later they were really not my friends. I had a machine and they were milking the machine.
Yep.
So that was a machine. Then the fitness club was, I had a tenant, they would move from Virginia Beach to open the club. I was doing the build out. The landlord, I borrowed about $1 million to do a build out, blah, blah. We were all excited. This was going to be the thing to bring people downtown early in the morning to work out, stay late. They were also going to buy all the food in the restaurants that we were getting. Mm-hmm. Do you see my vision of the Monopoly board?
Absolutely.
And then right before it was to be open, one of the contractors didn't pay a laborer $20 for that day. What'd the laborer do? Set my gym on fire.
What?
Set the gym on
No
fire.
way.
We had 250 pre-sold. 6 months later, we were not open from smoke damage. And then because of the delay, the business ended up having to file bankruptcy. The bank called me out of the blue and said, hey, do you want to own some fitness equipment? I said, no, I have a tenant. They go, no. Your tenant's filing bankruptcy. Would you like to own their equipment? I was like, I love fitness. I did not want to run a business. I don't know if you know that. I never intended to open the gym. So then I got a couple buddies and we did it. Talk about a lost leader. You want to lead by the heart? Fitness is great. You want to make money? Good luck. If you're One Life Fitness, they're my boys.
So we want to
They're
run
great.
a pickleball place. Is that in the future? What's going on?
Let's talk to another day.
I'm serious. I definitely do.
You know, when you guys mentioned June, I was going to say something after this. So I want to talk to you. I have an idea. I want to hear your ideas. I do have an idea. And maybe it'd be fun way we could collaborate and work together as bros, right? Or sisters, probably some sisters on the team. We love our mama bears.
We got a few minutes left here because I want to
we do.
respect your time, but I do want to ask you a hard question really quick. And
Oh wait, I didn't finish it though for June. My team now is all collaborative, more consultant based.
Yeah.
So I have a very small core that's been with me forever.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Very few. And actually I prefer this because managing people is tough. You guys know.
Yeah.
It is the hardest part of business is managing people. So now I bring in through Percolator, I met a lot of consultants. They were coming in consulting other companies within Percolator. I met them, we became friends, and now we're super close. So I call them. One of them's Kara. Kara, if you're listening, you know we love you. So Kara, I'll say, Kara, I need to do this. I need to reboot that, whatever. You're the perfect person. I bring her in, but they always treat me as family, be it we're on contract or not. They're always around and they're always checking on me and stuff like that. So I get like a lot of the good without having the employee. And then I get the talent, the part I really need where I pay for it. I can do that just because my businesses have matured. They're not at that point where I'm trying to bring a lot of new people on.
Right.
Did that answer that, June?
Yeah, absolutely. So
because it's morphed, it's changed, man.
I would imagine, right? Through your different levels.
Especially after COVID. If you're doing business the same way as before, everything after COVID we had to reboot
changed.
everything.
It's like BC, AC, like before COVID, after COVID.
Yeah.
Like that's a real, it's a new take on that whole
It
thing.
really is.
So at this point, I'm gonna ask this, and this I know the audience wants to know. I want to know. Answer how you feel. How many buildings do you currently own?
We currently own, so they're in different partnerships.
Understood.
So
let me rephrase that. How many buildings are you currently in partnership with and ownership?
okay, most of them I'm the manager member, which means I drive the bus.
Yep.
Which might be another tip. If you're in commercial real estate, think really hard about your partners, because it's easy to get in partner with somebody you love, close to you. You drank beer with them, whatever, and then when it gets tough, that's when you really find out about that person. And you look at them one day, you know, kind of like the guy who's leaving his wife. He goes, I looked over in bed and I didn't know who I was sleeping next to. Well, when you get in partnership, you're sleeping with them.
Right.
Yep.
So I want to drive the bus. So I'm involved with about 13 or 14 buildings where I drive the bus. I only have one right now where I'm not the driver, and it's my most difficult of them all. Because we've got it going on with
He's a little wet in the ears or behind the ears? Is he a little wet behind the ears?
Little green?
No.
Little green?
You know what it is? No. This team is more ROI oriented, return on investment.
Okay.
I'm about people first, money second.
Right.
Yep.
If you're about people, money follows.
Yep.
Number two, they're not local. So they
Got
apply their knowledge from DC or New York to our market. You can't do that. You got to do the special sauce for this area.
Yeah.
There's a total different flavor here. When I did co-working, WeWorks would not work here. You know how I know? I tried. It was crickets for a while. Then I added my sauce, my team, what we know from being boots on the ground.
Yep.
And when we put that sauce out there, guy went crazy. We had 4 campuses at one time. We were huge before COVID. Huge. We were going to go to Richmond, Northern Virginia, Tennessee. I had Old Dominion University encouraging me. We had a memorandum of understanding. We still do with the university. They loved our brand. They loved what we were about. They loved the collaboration. COVID destroyed it. I'm not doing that now. I have 2 campuses. I will focus on them and help them, but growing co-working's not happening.
Okay.
So the name of the podcast is Your Peak Life Podcast. Last question, so we can respect the rest of your time that you have, and want to thank you for being on the podcast today. You've reached a lot of peaks in your life. You've also gone to valleys, because that's kind of like life is like a roller coaster. We've heard that term before. So your next peak right now, I have a feeling has to do with people. But if you had to say one thing right now that's going to be a goal you're going to achieve in the next 12 months that you can come back and listen to this podcast and know that you held yourself accountable for, what is that goal in 30 seconds?
30 seconds. First of all, your test is your testimony. So when you go through a valley, just remember that's preparing you for a bigger opportunity. And you have to believe that, because if you don't, it gets you down. And it's true. So I know my test has really opened my eyes up to more things about people. I understand them better. Like we're talking about the margin on people we've been with a long time, June. That's because I went through this test. It's given me a lot more margin to be sympathetic, empathetic, and compassionate to people. No offense, fire as you will. I need a guy like you. With that said, I have a passion for helping people find homes, meaning build them. And I fell in love with small or tiny homes on Instagram. So when I was sick, I got in a rabbit hole. And I love those little homes. But if you notice, they're all about the environment they're in. You
Yes.
take a little home and you stack them side by side, they'll become the ghetto tomorrow.
Yes.
So you have to do an HOA, meaning you control the environment. You got to stagger the buildings so they don't look like row houses. You got to find like a river, a creek, and water. So finding the right land and finding the right collaboration and finding the right partner. So this is a trailblaze that I'm doing now, and I'm really excited about it because it really puts the juice in my engine. I don't like things that check box. So now when I go to a lender, they're like, what do you want to do? And we have to sit around and do what we're doing right now with you, right? Is we have to talk it out. And they're either going to like me and like the vision and our team, or they're not.
Yeah.
And then we move on. We're going to find someone. And we actually have found a great lender right now, too, that really love what we're doing in the city of Norfolk. I said, I think they're going to be the collaborative effort with this. Maybe the beach will do it, too. So that would be number one. Number two, I will continue to focus on downtown Norfolk. I control the partnerships. It's not about me, guys. So if I say I, please erase that on this podcast.
Right. It's always we. I understand.
But there's got to be a leader, right?
Of course.
If there's no leader, if the boat isn't rowing with a leader, it'll fail. So you got to have a leader, guys. Sorry. But it's not on my card. There's no president. There's no managing member on my business card, except for the residential one where I put principal broker because people like to see that.
Yep.
But on commercial, it says Bobby Wright.
That's it.
It says that. But I want to continue focusing on downtown because when I first came in downtown, 2000, and I created my business card, at the bottom it says a downtown commercial real estate company. Do you hear one word missing? Norfolk. That was purposeful. I knew the challenge I was up against, and that is we're a Hatfields and McCoy's region. We're not connected. We're still broken between little cities and towns, whatever, and we're still that way, but not as bad. And so one part of the solution is I want to show people I don't think city lines. I live at the beach. My businesses are primarily in Norfolk, and I'm all about the 757 or Hampton Roads or Tidewater or whatever you want to call it, South Season, Virginia. We do have a complex there. We don't tell our story well. If there's one thing Hampton Roads does horribly is we do not tell our story well. Because if you really understand the region, we are chock full of opportunities, assets, different kinds of people, the ports, there's so many things to leverage. Open your eyes. Do not think we're beer and pizza. I hear it all the time. Beer and pizza. Well, we do like beer and pizza. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're not that. So I want to continue growing downtown because if you think of a region as a body, a human being. So if I look at your body, right? What is the center? The heart. If you don't have a good, strong heart, cardiovascular center, you're not doing a lot of things. Your brain's not thinking well because it's not pumping good, fresh blood, nutrients, and oxygen, and returning the toxins back to the liver and the kidneys, right? So I see Norfolk as the only true downtown. Now I worked for Amada Hoffler. Town center is a town center. There's a million town centers. They're kind of faux in nature, but they serve their purpose. This one is an awesome town center, and I love it. And it must succeed, and it has. Anything we start in this region, it must succeed. We cannot want them to fail. I don't understand this thing, I'm downtown Norfolk, I want town center to fail. Nor do I understand, let's promote free parking in town center as a knife in the back of downtown Norfolk. I've seen this battle play out. It's not pretty, it's not fair. Because we all live in this boat together, right? So we need the strong heart. If you look at the map, Norfolk is dead center, and NATO's headquarters are there. The North American headquarters is there, right? The largest Navy base in the world is there. A lot of stuff. The 0 mile marker from Miami to New York is there. There's so many things there. So we don't need to discount Norfolk. It's an amazing heart with a beltway around it. It needs to be strong. So I'm committed to doing my part to continue to not only use my portfolio as a platform for opportunities for small business. So like today, I'm bringing more people down. They've been to Norfolk, but they're kind of curious. And the thing is, I want to grow the pie.
Agreed.
I want to grow the pie. So if you're listening and you're interested in knowing what is the pie or meeting me, and maybe downtown Norfolk isn't your bag, but you want to meet me, that's cool, because I will collaborate with anyone that's got purpose and drive and really has the energy and the desire to learn and grow. I'm not going to waste my time. I love Edward, right?
Edgar.
Edgar. I'm sorry, brother.
No, you're right.
Edgar, because it was Edwin, Edgar. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
this-
It's actually the,
too many new
it's
people
the
that like
sphere.
that.
The sphere. Just remember
The
the bonehead.
sphere.
Yeah,
Oh, I
there you
like
go.
that.
It's easier
Yeah,
that
he
way.
And we
thinks
all have
about
the
that.
same
Look at that.
haircut, so I feel this connection.
It
I
is.
love this connection. Just cut it a little shorter and you're in, bro. Seriously.
Yeah, he already looks like the Predator with that big old forehead. I tell him all the time.
You know, it's all about freedom.
I'm hanging on for dear
This
life,
is
guys.
This is freedom right here.
I love my
I don't comb my hair. I don't get up and worry
He
about
doesn't
it.
cut it. He looks more like Alf. Like,
You know, it's crazy. I've never been in a room with 3 against 1 on this one. I got you. So I'll shut the fuck up now on that part.
Even his whole family jumps on him now.
No,
Like,
no, no.
I got
You
him
know
all
what?
my
It's
stuff.
not us against you. We're jealous. Your hair is beautiful.
said it.
Your
Yes.
hair is beautiful.
I got you, Edgar. The rest of our lives, all right?
Listen, when I was younger, Italian, I had the rolling locks. You ever
Yep.
seen like King David or whoever
Yes.
was the Roman?
Yeah, yeah.
That was me, and the girls used to comb my hair as a lifeguard, and they would comb my hair and they'd talk about my locks and my long eyebrows and all. And I didn't realize like what a prize I had, and I was like, oh, whatever. And then when you lose it, and you see those curls go down the drain, us dudes, we get sick on our stomach. I mean, I got sick on my stomach when I started losing my hair. That's real. Don't shame guys for losing their hair. Women, be good to your men on that stuff.
Correct.
We are very sensitive on that one. I'll give it there.
I think we need to do a part 2 on this podcast, by the way. But Bobby, I want to thank you for coming on the
Yes.
show today.
Thank you.
Seriously,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Because you have so much more that we can talk about. There's the hemp projects, the other things that you're doing. There's so much things.
Oh, I forgot that one.
We can't talk about it right now. We got
You're
enough
out
time.
of time, man.
We gotta-
no,
but
yeah, I
meeting.
gotta go.
We have so many things
Yes.
to talk
I
about,
got a
so we
meeting
want to do a
coming.
part 2 on this one. But Bobby, thank you for being on the podcast today.
Thank you
Seriously,
so much.
Thank you for remembering that.
I
That was one of them I
remember.
didn't mention.
It's okay. We got time. I want
If
to
you're
save
out
this.
there in Appalachia and you know who you are, I'm sorry I didn't mention that.
We got time. We'll get them in another one because we talk and I
Yeah.
remember things
I
for
love your
other
team.
topics.
You guys, I feel like brothers. I don't know what it is. Sometimes, you come into Rome and you just feel like
Yeah.
you were meant to be with
We're
people.
brothers.
Facts. All
And I
day.
feel that here. So Iron Valley, hats off to Iron Valley, to you guys, to putting
thank
together a team that clearly is very different. Everyone's got their different purpose and different people.
Correct.
But it meshes like family. And I
Correct.
love
It
that.
works.
I feel at home. Glad to come back for part 2.
Thank you, Bobby.
Perfect.
Appreciate it,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Thanks, guys.
So we had Bobby Wright on here. Obviously, we had Edwin June Rodriguez. We had Edgar the Sphere Munoz. DJ Julian Rivera signing out. But remember this. Bobby, he spoke a lot about people today, and that's the number one driver on anybody that is really leading the way to success. Success has a lot of verticals in it. It's not just financial. There's a lot of other ways that people can win. And the way that Bobby wins is by leading with purpose, leading by people first, and then if they win, he wins by default. We say that a lot in many different ways. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, subscribe. DJ Julian Rivera, signing out. Peace.